So minutes after we came out with a video on the fact that the Raiders let go of Byron Young, they came out with the fact that why they were letting go of Byron Young. So a couple different players being let go by the Raiders, bringing on to the Raiders after Byron Young was let go, which again, we liked Byron Young, just didn't flash enough and felt like some of these other guys on the interior definitely did themselves some favors during the preseason. Really excited to see guys like Nestor Jade Silvera. Obviously, Christian Wilkins is in the building. So the Raiders are looking a lot better at defensive tackle. But speaking of defensive tackles, the Raiders had a defensive tackle brought in by themselves. So they signed a couple of players. One in Jonah Laulu. I know that's not even close. Jonah L. You guys know how we do it on the channel here. So Jonah L. coming in from Oklahoma and everything, 2-year starter for him. Standout, definitely really good with pass rushing and everything. And I think there's a lot of meat on the bone there. Plus, they also are bringing in Thomas Harper and Jonah was by way of the Colts. Harper, I believe, was by way of the Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. But overall, the Chargers. I was wrong. I knew it was an AFC West. Anyway, so basically, they brought in two guys that are going to help both in the secondary and the defensive tackle room. So let's start with going over Laulu, who, just looking over here, was a 2-year starter there at Oklahoma. And, I know I may have prefaced it by saying that, yes, he's really good at pass rushing. He is. There's a lot of meat left on the bone there if you just watch what he can do. 5.5 tackles for loss, a sack and a half in his first year there with the Sooners. Also had an interception. Nice. Came back his super senior year, had 11 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a sack. Now, there's a lot of things to work with here, especially with athleticism-wise. Like, if he could just use his hands, he would be fantastic. And that's really what it came down to for his scouting report here. This is courtesy of Lance Zierlein over there at NFL.com. Draft projection, priority free agent. Nice. Interior defender with below average mass but outstanding athletic traits. With loose and explosive hips, Laulu has rare fluidity and closing burst to the football. He springs into blockers off the snaps and has the ability to become a more disruptive run defender, but he lacks ideal instincts and diagnosis quickness. Laulu's rush production is nothing special, but it's easy to see the ingredients are all on the table if a team can help craft his hands and counters. Laulu's potential and traits will make him a coveted addition as a late pick or priority free agent. So strengths, yes, they talk about the fact, yes, he's got great athletic traits. He's explosive off the snap, which you really like to use. But again, it's the lack of the counters. It's the lack of being able to get guys off or at least if your primary pass rush move isn't there, what do you got to be able to help you out? Because it's all about you got to be able to Kobayashi Maru it, or no, that's the wrong thing. Basically, Mr. Miyagi off of Karate Kid. You got to be able to wax on, wax off, be able to get hands off of you, especially in the interior defensive line room. So Laulu, I think he provides a lot more upside than Byron Young. I think he's a guy that, just taking at face value as a former 7th-round pick, he is very talented athletically. If you can just teach him to use his hands and develop another counter, oh, baby. I think he can give you a lot of value as a defensive tackle pass rusher, and I think he can do just enough in the run game to warrant a little bit of respect there. And so now Thomas Harper was a guy that came in and undrafted and basically signed with the Chargers right out of college and everything. Was a 4-year player there at Oklahoma State, 1-year starter at Notre Dame, 11 games there, 39 total tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. Thomas Harper is one of those guys that he's very versatile and he can do a lot of different things for you. And that is definitely what you can see on his scouting report as well. So this is, again, a courtesy of Lance Zierlein, round 7, or a priority free agent. So he's a nickel cornerback with the traits and toughness for consideration as a fill-in safety if needed. Harper's only season as a starter came in his single year at Notre Dame, and he looked capable in his role. He's tenacious in coverage and as a run defender. He has above-average explosiveness and the ability to make up ground when needed. He stays hyper-focused on his man in coverage and lacks ideal eye balance and length to make fields on the football. Harper needs to work in both man and zone coverages, but he has the traits, toughness, and upside to have a chance once he gets into camp. And again, yes, 1-year starter, a guy that goes after the man, not the football. That's something you can coach. And that's really what I'm seeing from these two signings in Laulu and Harper, is that these are guys that just need to be coached up. They can really find themselves a role with this team if they can work on some of the smaller things. And, I think when it comes to Harper, I love the fact that he's versatile. You can put him in nickel, where he showed a great ability there against USC specifically. And then also, I think you can play him at corner. I think you can play him over the top. I love his versatility. I think he's going to be a really good addition to this secondary and really help out the Raiders in that regard. So defensively, hey, the Raiders got 2 new defensive guys that are going to really help them out and everything. And I think that this is overall a really good move, despite the fact that Byron Young, who might be back on the practice squad, is out of the building. But overall, let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let us know overall what your guys is thinking of the releasing of Byron Young and the signings of Laulu and Harper.